Uh, Hello, this is Travis Miles, and you should listen watch uh, Fallout Friday. You can, you can listen to it too, but it just just watch it, please. Uh,
Welcome, Wastelanders. I'm Ian Higton, and this is Fallout Friday. Now, for this week's show, I've got something a little different lined up for you because joining me all the way from LA via Skype is Brendan Hunt, the voice of Diamond City Radio's reluctant DJ Travis Miles. Brendan, welcome to Fallout Friday.
well, thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure, it is indeed. So I've done some Google stalking and found out a little bit of background info, so feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but you're an actor and a writer,
Yep.
and you've appeared in a few TV shows like Community and Kay and Peele, and movies like Horrible Bosses 2 and We're the Millers.
Yeah.
And it turns out that Fallout 4 isn't your first gig doing video game voiceover work, because you did something about 11 years ago for Call of Duty Finest Hour, I believe.
Yeah, it was basically like one of my first jobs in LA, and like I don't quite know how I even got it. And it was a very, especially compared to Fallout 4, it was a very quick little gig. And then I didn't even have a voiceover agent yet. And yeah, I don't know how that happened.
Who were you playing? Were you just a background voice shouting charge or something?
I'm sure there was a bit of that as well, but that was a version of Call of Duty where they tried to stage actual battles from history.
Yeah.
And I am the voice that basically explains D-Day to you right before you go to Normandy.
My name is Chuck Walker. I've been attached to the First Army, the Big Red One, for a long time now. I fought in North Africa and Sicily. I landed in Normandy on D-Day. Every day I fight to save my life and the lives of my men. I'm proud we're on the front lines.
So, are you a big gamer, or are you...
I'm not particularly. I never had a game console as a kid, and then in college, my roommates had, brought theirs from their, suburban homes, and they would just proceed to, I don't know if we're allowed to swear on this show, but beat the shit out of me.
Hey there, pal.
And then when I moved, to LA, like everyone was playing Halo, and I would try to play Halo, and I was just terrible, terrible at video games. I feel like I just started too late.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I've been playing video games for about 25 years and I'm still terrible.
No, come on, Ian. Come on, you make videos where you teach people things. Come on.
Oh man, the viewers can attest that I am pretty terrible at games. But, it's the trying that counts, right? It's not the winning, it's the taking part. I think that's what they say to all the losers, isn't it?
I think so. It sounds like a familiar refrain, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well. So you've voiced quite a major character in Fallout 4, really. He's a voice that every player will have heard at some point because he's on the main radio station. So did you know much about the series going into it? Were you aware of the series before?
I had learned about it, and I was aware of it vaguely, just in the sense of, that's one of the big franchises. But, I couldn't have told you the plot or the world or anything. And then when I got the job, as is very common for these big games, they didn't tell me what game it was. It was under a code name.
Right. I
was just happened to be playing some DJ. And I didn't know enough about Fallout 2. I mean, that should have been a bit of a tell right there, but I just wasn't smart enough to know.
What was the code name?
There were two different ones. I wonder if I'm not allowed to tell you them, but I guess I can tell you the first one because they changed it. But it was called Angelina.
Oh right, okay, yeah. I'd have never have guessed that was a Fallout game for sure. So, can you tell us a bit about your character then, Travis Miles? Who is Travis Miles?
Sure. So as I understand it, he's a guy who, after the apocalypse, has just sort of ended up being assigned to the job of DJ, despite the fact that he has not only no skill, but no charm, really either, nor is he particularly good with public speaking. And he has something like 10 records to choose from. But, maybe given the opportunity, maybe he would get a little bit of confidence if something ever shook him up just the right way.
Well, yeah, there is actually a mission in the game where you get to see a bit more of Travis, isn't there? It's called Confidence Man, and you get to try and give Travis a little bit more confidence by putting him through a few, I guess, ordeals is probably the right way to phrase it. Was recording his audio for the mission that you had to do, was it different, very different to how you recorded the radio story, the radio station? Because I'm guessing in a mission you've got to record loads of different answers for the same questions, that kind of thing.
Yeah. For it just was like, a mental adjustment, I think, because when you're playing a DJ, then the actual physical act of recording the game is very similar to the physical act that your character is doing in the world.
Right.
But then, these mission scenes, like, oh, wait, I need to act. But, oh, there's no one here to act with. But I'm pretending to have dialogue. And it's all a bit new to me still anyway. So, yeah, it was definitely like a mild mental adjustment, but
So that makes me think that you didn't get to hang out with any of the other cast members. It was solo recording stuff, was it?
I never met a single cast member in the year and a half or so of sessions that I went in to do on this game.
Oh wow, a year and a half of sessions. That's a lot. So were you going in for lots of rereads and things?
I'm not sure we ever re-recorded anything I did. It's just that they kept adding more stuff. And I say year and a half, but it wasn't, it wasn't daily or weekly or even monthly. It just every 6 or 8 weeks, I'd get a phone call. They want you to come back again for Angelina.
Right.
And off I'd go.
So Travis really is one of a kind when it comes to the characters of Fallout 4. Was his personality mostly your input? Did you get to improvise a lot? Or was he always intended to be this nervous, stuttering character?
The very first character breakdown they sent out for the audition definitely already had that he was shy and timid and not very good at his job. I guess I did have a bit of a take on it. As we went along, I did improvise a fair amount. One thing I'm waiting to hear in this game, if I ever get around to going to someone's house that has it, is there's one chunk where I improvised for 30 full seconds when all the lines are like 5 seconds, and they let me keep going, so there's some improv in the game, but not a ton. I think after that there was more of a sense of like we've covered improv, now please do the lines.
No, I've bumped into Travis a few times. I've not heard him go off on a 30-second rant yet, but
no, there's a specific DJ moment. It must be one specific song actually. Right. I get quite angry at myself for being a bad DJ.
Right. Okay. I've not heard that bit yet, but I'll keep an ear out for it. So, have you seen his in-game model? Do you know what he looks like?
Yeah, someone tweeted it to me, and I'm very disappointed to find out that I'm a Red Sox fan.
Who are you a fan of in real life, then?
The White Sox, actually.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, neither of those names mean anything to me because I'm from the UK.
Where in the UK are you from?
I'm originally from Oxford, but living in Birmingham now.
Birmingham. Okay. Well, the Red Sox are like Man City.
Okay.
And the White Sox are, well, let's say Villa, but not as well supported.
Right. Okay. So yeah, you definitely don't want to be a Red Sox then.
They're the worst. The worst.
Uh-oh. So according to IMDb, you also play someone in the game called Perry, but I've not bumped into anyone called Perry yet either. Who's that character? Is he a big character or a minor
No,
one?
it's a quick. It must be on some mission. It was actually the very last thing I recorded. It was like, okay, great, we're done. Oh, except this. And he's maybe a crooked cop.
Okay.
Something like that. Yeah, it's just a quick little scenario that goes by.
All right. Okay, I'll keep an eye out for Perry then. See if I can recognize you. Do you do a different voice for him, or is it?
Yeah. If I recall, it was just sort of like a noir-y sort of cop thing.
Awesome. So, how did you find voicing a game that's so epically large as Fallout 4? I guess they must have shoved a massive pile of A4 paper in front of you and locked you in a room for 8 hours and told you to get on with it?
It's pretty relaxed. I think they're only allowed to do 4 hours at a time.
Right.
and it's all on a computer in front of me, and not even on a computer, actually, on a big like widescreen TV. So the font is nice and legible, and all of my lines are numbered. And I read them in order, and they're like, you do one, you go, okay, great, let's move on to 47. And I don't know anyone else's lines.
Right.
So I have no context for anything that I'm doing.
So how does that work then? Do you have a director telling you specifically this person's angry with you, react to that?
When necessary, yeah. I mean, for Travis, it's a little different because, a little easier, I guess, in that way, because generally speaking, I'm just being a DJ, and I'm just announcing the music or reading the news. But yeah, if I was off base, or if I, didn't have the context right for, whatever airship was blowing up wherever, they would take me aside and say, by the way, that was a good thing that just happened. Like, oh, it's good. Oh, well, that changes everything.
Thank you very much for speaking to me, Brendan. It's been a pleasure to have you on the show.
No worries, Ian. Take care, and good luck in the Commonwealth.
Thanks. I think I'll need it. Also, I've got to say thanks to everyone who's been watching. If you did enjoy this video, please do give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe if you fancy more Fallout Friday every Friday for the foreseeable future. Goodbye.